I think what it illustrates is a broad view that given the experience of COVID-19, over 300,000 deaths, millions and millions of people around the world losing their jobs, including here in Australia, the impact on economies from one corner of the globe to the other, that there is a strong view that it is appropriate to engage in a review of what has happened in the pandemic, the impact it has had, to ensure basically that we learn those lessons and it doesn't happen again.
And on Insiders last month, you said it would be poacher and gamekeeper for the WHO to conduct the review. So has Australia abandoned its call for a fully independent review?
I think in what is a very comprehensive resolution, you will see that the review is specifically referred to as impartial, independent and comprehensive. They are three factors which we particularly have sought. The Prime Minister and I have also discussed a number of the mechanisms within the WHO, including their independent oversight and advisory body, which has the capacity to do some of this work. But that is to be determined after the resolution is dealt with by the World Health Assembly. And of course, we've also been very clear in relation to the timing of an inquiry of this nature, that there are many countries around the world, including some of those who have been prepared to co-sponsor or to sign up to this resolution, who are still dealing with some of the most difficult aspects of the response. They are at the peak level of the crisis, and some are yet to experience that level. So we are very aware of that in terms of the timing as well.
So what will, just I guess for the layman, what will be some of the checks and balances that you'll be pushing for once the motion has been passed?
The resolution has almost 50 clauses. It is a very comprehensive piece of work, and I really want to acknowledge the drafters and those who have been working very hard on the resolution in recent days and weeks. It sets out a whole range of steps that need to be taken in relation to COVID-19, the review amongst them, an examination of the zoonotic origins of the coronavirus itself as well. So for the layperson, that means that there is a series of steps that we put in place to look at some of the most important issues which we think have arisen out of COVID-19.
Is Australia now in a trade war with China?
No, I think the Trade Minister's been very clear about that yesterday and again today. We deal with issues on their merits as they arise, and that's been that is what we have been doing in relation to Bali and other issues in particular, and that is what we have consistently done. One thing Australia is very, very sure of in terms of the steps that we are taking is the importance of being consistent, of being clear, and of ensuring that we are working through each issue as they come to us.
You mentioned before how significant this is, all the facts and figures around deaths and cases and the spread. Do you think it's naive or immature for China to have reacted in the way that they have? Of course, there was always going to be some kind of inquiry into how this all started.
I think each country's response is a matter for that country, and I don't think I would engage in commentary country by country, frankly. But what is most important is the level of encouraging support that we are seeing for the review and for the World Health Assembly resolution. As I said, it is very comprehensive, and importantly from our perspective, it calls for an independent, impartial and comprehensive evaluation of what has happened in the context of COVID-19. That is the aim with which we set out to discuss this. That was an important part of the conversation that we started, and I am very grateful to the efforts, as I said, of those in the European Union and those many drafters who have been part of the negotiations for the last few weeks.
We've heard today that the Agriculture Minister hasn't been able to speak to his Chinese counterpart. Have you been in communication with your Chinese counterpart?
As I've referenced before, I have spoken to him in relation to COVID-19. I'm in the process of following up the Prime Minister's letters to members of the G20 and also numerous other international contacts. China is amongst that group, and I look forward to having that conversation in due course.
Have they been forthcoming in your attempts to talk with them?
I think that's part of the process of lining up those calls in relation to the G20 correspondence. I have no concerns whatsoever that we will be able to have a useful discussion, as I have on multiple occasions with State Councillor Wang Yi.
And the EU circulated a draft motion on April 15. To what extent was it the EU rather than Australia that did the legwork to secure the broad international support for this motion?
I think we've been very clear about the opportunity to support the EU resolution going to the World Health Assembly. And as I've said here a couple of times today, it's a very comprehensive, very detailed piece of work. And our support for that has been all focused on ensuring that we achieve the most productive outcome, which is a comprehensive, impartial, independent review. To have been able to work with the EU and many others who have been in support of this resolution has been a very important series of steps to bring us to today. I don't want to preempt, I don't want to speculate about the outcome. Those discussions will be underway later this evening, Australian time, but importantly, the encouragement and the input of so many parties is in fact, I think, a real signal of the importance of the call for an independent international review and the outcome that we all have wanted to see.
Would you say this is a win for Australia?
I think it's a win for the international community, and Australia as a strong and active part of that international community would certainly see it that way.
Anything else you wanted to add?
No, that's good.
Thank you, Senator.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
The Foreign Minister Marise Payne says it's a win for the international community, the fact that there will be an